Hello everyone, welcome to A Trader's Journey. It's Leslie Pips. I'm back again with another video. Today we're doing things different because of I didn't do a watch list yesterday because of the bank holiday. I didn't think much was gonna happen, so I decided to just drop the video on Monday and let's see what the rest of the week has for us. So without further ado, today we're gonna start with DXY. So I'll start on the 4 hour and just sort of analyze what's been happening on DXY. Obviously, since price was trading at 98, we've been on a bit of a bullish momentum. Price was shooting up. Obviously, since we left this gap over here, we left the gap and we sort of ran to 98, sort of rejected at 98 for quite some time, and then price switched bullish. After we had a fake out here, we started rejecting at the support level, and then we've had a bit of for a few weeks now, we've been bullish. For about a week and a half, 2 weeks, we've been on a bullish momentum. Now we've stuck sort of set in this level over here where the original obviously gap started before we had this run to the downside. This is where we filled this gap to a T, and then we saw price sort of stuck in this correction at this level. So as soon as we hit 99.5 ish and close this gap to the pip, price sort of started to correct at this level. So now we've seen obviously Monday open with another gap. So we've seen price pushed a bit lower. Is it a turning point in the market where we're starting to see the DXY starting to get a little bit bearish because of what we're hearing about the Iran and the United States in terms of striking a deal? So it seems like the dollar is gonna be under pressure for a little while if they decide to reach an agreement. So price is we're seeing some sort of a rollover and a shift in momentum. As soon as you see this corrective price for quite some time, that means typically it means the momentum is about to shift, that we've had our run and now we're about to shift bearish. So now you can see price starting to push lower with the left the gap a little bit. So I'd like to see us sort of keep using this as a resistance level. So we broke down below, so I want to see it reject at this level. That means we're gonna see a little bit of a price bit of a rejection here. Obviously we've broken the structure, and then I want to see a bit more rejection here, and then a little bit push to 98.5 and see what happens when we get here. So that means that on the cross dollar pairs, we're going to be looking for bullish, we're looking to go long, and as soon as we see this resistance, this become a proper resistance. Right now we can't tell because it's a bank holiday, momentum's not that strong. So let's see what happens here coming to tomorrow. I would love to see this actually hold at this price. So I want to see a little bit of rejection at this, and then a momentum shift to 98.5, and then we can readjust when we get there. So now that we've done the DXY, we've seen that we're getting a bit of a rollover and a shift in momentum. Now we go to EU. So EU is quite an interesting one. Let me just go to the daily. I'm gonna delete this because it's a bit conflicting with my DXY analysis. So with EU, obviously we've been bearish, like as like the DXY has been bullish. We had a break of structure here, but I feel like looking at how the DXY is shaping up, I feel like yes, we've had a break of structure, but this move after we broke structure is not strong enough to go to this level here at 114, right? 114.7. So because of we've lost momentum, and you can see these are corrective candles, right? This level, these candles here, these are corrective candles. It means we're correcting down. That means there's not a lot of momentum at this price point to push price down, and you can see the DXY is losing momentum as well. So I'm looking at this, that this is a fake out. We're gonna see price faking out here and then come back and then use this as support and then move start shifting bullish because of what we're seeing is happening with the DXY, obviously with the news that's happening with regarding Iran and the US. So things are shifting a little bit. So with the EU, this is gonna take some time to develop. So I'm not looking at trading EU this in the next couple of days. If I go on a 4-hour, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So we've had this correction here, open up a little bit strong with a gap. So I'm looking for the obviously this is our, let me just delete this. This is our, okay, what's happening now? Let me delete this. Go back to the 4-hour. So this is the corrective pattern. This is the fake out. So I'd love to see price break back into this level, use this as support, and then a shift in momentum. But this is going to take some time to develop. I would like to see something like this. Reject here, use this as support, and then start shifting bullish. So this is going to take some time to develop because I am looking at this as a higher time frame zone. So this is gonna take some time to develop. So it's not on my watch list for this week because I don't think it'll happen this week unless we get a lot of movement tomorrow and then we can see price shoot past this level. This is where it might flip. Let me just draw a line here. This is the flip zone that I'm looking for. If we break this and then we reject at this level, I'm gonna be looking to go long because this is our flip zone. This is our lowest point before break of structure. So I'm looking at this as a flip zone. You can see price rejected here, try to move down. We couldn't get enough momentum to move to 114.8. So I'd love to see price sort of break through this level and then reject at this 116.5 area. So let's see what happens. It might develop sooner than I think, but since it's a 4-hour, so let's see if we can get bit of a push and a rejection here, and then we can look to go long. That's EU. I'm not gonna put it on a watch list at the moment. Even this, I was wrong with my analysis. I can see the DXY is not looking to go long again, so this is shifting, but this is already starting to develop. Obviously these small candles, there's no momentum because of the other bank holidays. And if I move to the daily, you can clearly see it's quite a bit of been a strong day for pound. This has already started to develop. So if we can see a little bit of a closure and a pullback to retest this zone, then I'll be interested. At the moment, it's too far from the area that I would like to enter. So at the moment, I will readjust when we get to levels like here, you know, because now we're gonna be in the middle of a zone. So it's not I'm not looking to enter here. I would love to see a bit of a pullback to come, maybe retest the zone again, and then we can see a push up. So I'm monitoring this, but because of we've moved so far ahead from the zone that I'll be comfortable entering, I am not looking at a GU. So GU's out for now. The one I'm more interested in is because this is a propensity to move faster than the two, and it's a lot more stable pair. I am looking at this, especially at this intermediate level. Obviously, some of the major levels lie above here, and above here. So I am looking at this intermediate zone because of, if I look at the run from, we break and retest this zone from here to here, it gives you quite a bit. If you go tight on the stop, you can even go long. 15 pip stop gets you 2.8 to get to that zone. So obviously this is also gonna probably develop overnight, and probably around Wednesday we should have a probably an entry at this point. So I love this pair because it's a lot more stable once it moves in one direction. This is I'm not gonna risk too much on this because it's in the middle of a zone, because my high time frame zones are up here and lower here. So this is a bit of an intermediate support and resistance, but it's a bit stronger. See prices resisting here. If we do break above here, there is a higher chance that we're gonna come to this price point at 0593. So 588, this is why we like looking to enter if we break this resistance. So it's the one that I'm monitoring. I like it. I'll put it on my watch list because I like where it's at. I like that it's strong. It's becoming, this is a 4 hour chart, so it's a little bit of a strong zone. If I move to the 1 hour, you can see what I'm talking about. It gives you a little bit more to there's a bit meat on the bone with this trade, so I'm gonna leave it. Aussie dollar, I'm not loving it because of, if I go on the higher time frames, you can see that how overpriced, especially on this run, a little bit overpriced. Buying at this point, it's the strongest of the cross dollar pairs, and that's why you see when it dips, it doesn't dip that low and it immediately switches direction. So buying Aussie is a good idea. I just don't love it because there's no the upside potential is not that great because of it's already overpriced. So I don't love it. I would love to trade this pair at these levels here because I feel like I can get enough out of the trade from it. So I'm not really looking at this because it's so overpriced, and it's the strongest of the pair, so that's why it doesn't dip that much. CAD dollar, a little bit out of my my zone that I would love to enter. I was looking at this area here, but I didn't see enough for price to hold at this point. So if I go on a daily and show you exactly, so this has been a previous good zone to enter trades, because every time we hit the zone we get a little bit of momentum, and because of price just stopped respecting the zone, it just, I wasn't confident going short from here because of what I was seeing from the DXY at the time. The DXY was a little bit further away from the gap, so now I'd love to see this pair, even though I feel like the DXY is switching direction. So I'm going to be monitoring. Preferably I would love to go short here at these levels here, because there's a potential for it to run all the way down there, as you've seen. Every time we hit this level we get a bit of a bigger of a run, and then we come to this and then we reject at this zone. Every time we hit this was it 1391, we get a big run, and it's a solid straight line shoot down. So because of the DXY showing that it's shifting bearish, so the only thing is I would consider entering if we get a bit of a break below and a retest. Then I can enter this, even though it's not as nice of a trade as this one, but you can still get enough out of it, from let me just delete this. From this point here you can still get enough out of your trade from this point here, right? So preferably I would like to enter it here at 139, but I would take 1373 as a alternative, considering that the DXY is starting to show that it's the bearish momentum is starting to kick in. So if we do get a shift here, and in price we see a rollover, break below and a retest, I would love to take it to here. It's still a good trade, even if it's on a higher pip stop. This is a 52 pip stop, but obviously on a lower time frame, you can sort of refine it a little bit, and you can get a lot out of this trade if you enter at the right price. So even a 40 pip stop gets you a 4% trade. But let's see. Preferably I'd love to enter it high here, but we'll see what happens tomorrow when the market opens. There is a small little level here that I think we can run into, but I'll be wary of it coming up here. So this is the level that I would be looking for as well if the market doesn't shift from here. So let's see what happens tomorrow overnight, trading overnight, and then we can take it over. I'm not gonna look at the yen pairs. I don't love the price action. The fact with the yen pairs is every time UJ gets to 159 or 160, BOJ steps in, pushes price down, and they're trying to control this price point. So there isn't enough to go higher, because every time we get to 160, 159, the BOJ intervenes, pushes price down. Preferably, I'd love to buy it lower. So I'll wait for the dip, maybe to this level or to this low. So at the moment, not in my list. Dollar Swiss, also don't love it, too far away from my preferred entry point because of the DXY shifting bearish. This is gonna come to the zone, and then I can reassess from there. So I'm not looking at that. KDN, same thing. Euro yen, this is interesting to me because of I prefer buying this pair because of like something I mentioned with the yen pairs. So if we are rejecting at this level, I would love to go long here, but obviously I would need a lot more confirmation because of we've been sort of zigzagging in this zone, right? You can see price has been zigzagging in this zone. So I would love to see some sort of a shift, something to show me that it's shifting bullish, and then I can look to go long on here, especially since the DXY is going to be weak, the euro dollar is going to be stronger. We have a potential for this price to come up here. So that's in my watch list because of we are already at the price point that I would love to enter from. So I'm just going to monitor it overnight and see what we get. But I am looking to go long on this pair. So currently I have two on my watch list. I'm not loving this because it's too far gone. This is a prime example for what I was saying about the euro yen, because the pound has been so strong today. You're starting to see it shift, so that's why I'm looking at this as a potential long to come to this level. So watch out for euro yen, and then New Zealand CAD. Not loving it at this moment because of it's a bit conflicting. New Zealand's gonna get stronger. That means it's gonna move up a bit. So it's a little also overpriced. It's at the level that I don't love. I like to buy the dip of this pair. I don't love it to trade here. Pound CAD also, pound strong today. That's why you're seeing some sort of shift in the strong bullish momentum into this level. I would reassess it at this level, so I don't love it at the moment. EuroCAD, same thing, not loving it. And then New Zealand, Euro New Zealand, it depends. I prefer buying this pair. So let's see if we get a shift in price. Obviously we had a shift in market structure here, and price failed to move lower. It looks similar to what euro dollar is doing. So I'm gonna monitor this. This is actually quite interesting. I'll monitor it here. These are the levels that I've been looking at for quite some time. That's why they are pre-drawn on my charts. So I'm gonna be looking at, obviously we've seen a break back in below. I want to see this acts as a support, and then we can start seeing getting to the 2000s. Right now trading at like 198. I would love to see price sort of use this as support, and then I'll see the shift in momentum, because obviously this is where the lowest low before the structure broke, right? So this is our flip zone. This is where buyers and sellers decide on price. At the moment you can see the buyers are starting to win this battle, so I would wait to see overnight trading and see if we can get some rejection on the support, and then we can go long. So that's my watch list for this week, and quite interesting trades to be looking at. Let me just go do gold quickly. Gold, Uh, I am looking at a little bit of a drop to fill the gap. I'm looking to buy at this level. Right now we're in the middle of a zone, so I'm looking to buy at this level at the moment. I've been watching this today, so that's why my levels are here. So I'm looking for a bit of a dip, come and retest the support, and I'm looking to buy into the zone. So let's see what happens with gold overnight. Hopefully we get a bit of a pullback and I can get some opportunities here. So that's my watch list. 4 pairs on my watch list. It's not a bad watch list. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you for